Hello everyone around the world. It's Sunday, so yeah, um, we did not came to fix things. It's Sunday, but like what I said last week, we started a program where we'll be doing electronics oral repairs. Yeah, just to try fix things verbally without the practical things. Attending to comment section, checking what problems people they are facing. I'm sure there are so many technicians here on this platform who are fixing various kind of devices across the world. So I found it useful once in a while just to attend to comment section and trying to see how people they are doing things, how people they are, what kind of challenges are being faced by other technicians across the world. Okay, so yeah, this is just some oral talks about electronic repairs. So where can we start today? Where can we start? But according to my assessment, people, because what we are doing here, we are posting repairs for phones, TVs, laptops, but a lot of questions they have been arised from laptops. Seems as if people they have too many things which they don't understand about laptop motherboards. Okay, so let's go on desktop. Let's go on desktop. Where am I? Let's go here. We are on the comment section. So what we are trying to do here, we want to pay attention to the comments, because these comments they guide me, they guide you. From the comments we can come with a better solution to a problem. A problem shared is half solved. So here we have a subscriber who was saying, how did you acquire all this knowledge in repairs? I'm a technician, but my knowledge would seem to be an amateur to you. So I explained these things many times. How you get knowledge in electronic repairs. You don't need a school for that, because what you are learning at school is some basics. You can go to a college, you go to a university, you do electronics engineering, do information technology, you do computer engineering, computer science. There you acquire basics. You acquire the basics of theory of how things work. But on the practical side, you still need another school there. I think you have to start again after completing that degree to learn things, the practical things. When I say learning things, I mean how to solder, how to take out SMD components, how to identify the MOSFETs. This is a fuse, this is a chip, this is a diode, this is a ceramic capacitor. This is a rectifier bridge, all those kind of things. So the knowledge, the way how I did it, at high school I used to love science. Science was my best subject. So we're doing like clubs, and I choose science and innovation. There I learn a lot of things. We're building some funny toys, and yeah, from that moment I learn and learn and learn, and I like trying new things. So the only way to get knowledge, according to my own understanding, you have to do it by your own. Try to acquire basic tools. Just grab a multimeter, water station. You go on Amazon, AliExpress, eBay, you try to buy those electronic kits, like DIY electronic kits, where you buy things in pieces, you try to build it on your own. Now, that's the way how you understand the circuits, how circuits are being built, how the relationship between current, voltage, resistance, mm, in various kind of motherboards. So that's the only way how you can learn electronics. Try to buy those electronic kits. Even if you don't buy those electronic kits, try to grab, you take those those old CRT TV boards. You grab out some components. You try to understand each and every component, how each and every component is working, how a capacitor is working in a circuit, how a diode, how a fuse is working. Yeah. Try to build some schematics in A. Build your own circuit. That's the only way how you get better with the electronics. And over time, you if you have self-love plus consistency, with time you get to understand how each and every component is working. So that's the only way how you can acquire some knowledge. Yeah? And here we have another comment from another subscriber for this Lenovo V110-15 ISK. No power dead after BIOS update. Good morning, sir. Please, how do I get original bin files for any laptops? It's very easy. How I'm doing it on BIOS bin files. First, I will check on Google. If I don't find anything on Google, I have a guy in South Africa. Let me see. Yeah, I have a guy who has this group. He created a group on Telegram. JBV computers, and the people there, they are sharing schematics, they are sharing board view, they are sharing bin files for free. Around the world there are so many nice people. They are just sharing stuffs for free. So either I'll get it on Google, or I have some guys from South Africa who are sending me some bin files for free. I just send them the model of the laptop, the board number, and they send me a bin file. That is if I fail to get it. So that's how I'm getting some bin files. Here I have the same laptop. It is suddenly goes off even 10 minutes after putting it on power. What may be the problem? A laptop switching off 10 minutes after you have pressed the power on button. That means the laptop, the motherboard already passed the test. The motherboard already passed the test. You use the laptop for like 10 minutes and it goes off. Based on experience, I'll start to check the cooling system of that particular motherboard. Try to check if the cooling system is working properly. Like the fans, they are spinning properly, the machine is not overheating. Try to change the thermal paste. Huh? That's where you can start. Because if the laptop managed to work for 10 minutes, it means the board already passed the test. Maybe we have the problem with the cooling system. Huh? So that's how I see things. But yeah, in electronics can be anything. Can be anything. Uh, and here we still have an issue. I think I explained these things on the last oral talk. The last oral talks in electronics, I explained the thing with the variable power supply. But I have a friend of mine who seems to be not understanding how things works. You can't use a laptop charger. Huh? You can't use a laptop charger even to inject on the 19 volts power line. You see, if I have a short on the here we have a motherboard. You see this motherboard? This is a random motherboard of a laptop. If I have a short here on the main 19 volts power line, you can't use a laptop charger as a variable power supply because you can't see the current being withdrawn on the main power 19 volts power line. Because the idea of the variable power supply, you see here, here's 5 volts, and here I'm seeing the current that is being drawn by that particular motherboard. Unlike a laptop charger, you can't see this current. You can't see. How do you see the current? If you are using a 19 volts, plus even if the main 19 volts power line is not shorted, it's not advisable to come with 19 volts. Huh? Because even with 1 volts, 2 volts, 3 volts, you can still see the short. You can come with 1 volts on a 19 volts power line, still you can see a shorted component. There are so many ways to see to see which component is shorted. Even with the lower voltage, you can use thermal camera. That is, if you have one. If you don't have, you can come with some liquid, come with alcohol and see which component is drying quickly. We have done this so many times. If you check some videos, we've done this so many times on finding short circuits. And also, I found something. Let me see if I can get that too. I bought also something. I bought this. I never used this on videos. This is a Rosin short circuit detector. How this thing is working, it's very simple. It's very simple. You put some rosin here, like flask. Let's see if we can do it. Some flax here. Like soldering paste. And you put a glass here. I don't know if this thing has got, if this battery needs to be charged first. Maybe this battery doesn't have power, but if you keep on pressing here, you see this LED which is flashing. We must have a smoke here. Yeah, that smoke, you see? The smoke is coming. You can see that smoke. So this thing is very simple. You just go in the area where there's a short. You spray that area and you come with some amps. you see the component which is giving you problem is drying quickly. So I bought these two just to experiment and to to see if this can be a better tool on finding short circuits, uh, the easiest way and the fastest way on motherboards. And it's very cheap, it's less than $5 US. So that's the thing. That's the thing. You don't need to to complicate the job. You don't need to complicate the job. You can't use a laptop charger for the simple reason: one, you are not seeing the current. You are not seeing the current. Some laptops, they are working with 19 volts, 4 point something amps. We don't want to strain the motherboard by putting 19 volts and too much amps there. I think it's very easy just to grab a variable power supply. It's very simple. And on the variable power supply, I would advise you to buy a linear one, because that will give you the room for mistakes. Huh? It will give you the room for mistakes. If you have anything that you have done wrong there, uh, it's not dying easily, unlike switching power supply. Switching power supply, if you play with spinning plus and minus, things can go wrong and probably you can't even fix it. But a linear power supply, you can fix. It's very simple on a linear power supply. It's very simple. We have a big transformer. After the transformer, we have the bridge rectifier. We have a filter capacitor. We have a regulator. We have another filter capacitor on the output, and the circuit is complete. Huh? It's very simple. It's very simple. So again, I would say just try to buy a linear power supply, less than 50 USD. You can buy one and see. Because the most important thing here, you have to see. You have to see the current. You have to adjust the voltage. On a laptop charger, you can't. Maybe the 19 volts power line is okay, and you have 3.3 volts, and the 3.3 volts power line is off. How are you going to do it if you use a laptop charger? Now, to find short circuit, you can't do that. So we have another comment here which was left by one of the subscribers. He's saying, please say, how do you consider what do you consider before changing this type of chip? Do you replace with the same size or the type on the number? I believe this I think we need to reach this video. 1 second. I don't remember. Let me see. What did you do on that video? I don't really remember. 3.3 power array was missing. Alright, if you check here on the video, here, I think what we did here, I think what we did on this video was to replace the 3.3 and 5 volts regulator. Yeah, I do remember the video. I do remember the video. So yeah, if you are to replace the chip, you have to replace the same chip. And some chips, especially on these new models of laptop motherboards, we don't have a number there. On top of the chip, you don't have a number. Some they are written. You can find that was a 3.3 and 5 volts regulator. You can find 51125, 511, 51223 regulator, RT88205. There are so many regulators. And all these regulators they are doing, they are stepping 19 volts to either 3.3 or 5 volts or 1.5 or 1 volts depending on the power rail. So if you are to replace, you must replace the same chip. You can take it from a donor board and replace the chip with the same chip number. You can't just replace a chip with another chip. So here, like here, how I'm doing it here, I tried to buy some chips on AliExpress, but still did not work out. So I prefer taking chips from donor boards, you know, the boards for space. To me, can save my time. You know, ordering chips, you have to wait for 1-2 weeks. So like what I was saying, ordering chips online, like on AliExpress, Amazon, whatever site, to me is time consuming. And at the end, you might order a chip, you find, oh, the motherboard still is not working. Maybe you have a secondary fault that you did not see. Already you have waste time, you have lose some money. So if you are to replace chip, I'll prefer just to look what I'm doing. I'm moving around, buying boards for space. That's how I'm getting the space mostly. Because I know around people, they have little knowledge on how the laptop motherboards they are working. I can buy like non-working boards, which they confirmed to be non-working, but some of them they will be working. They are fixable. I just buy and use them for space. So there's nothing hard in doing such kind of job, because even here, trust me, even here around this town, I found people they are fixing phones. They are doing specialization. Mostly they are into phones repairs. They are fixing phones, but at the end, people they don't have tools, and I don't know how they are working, because at least you must have like a basic multimeter. When I say basic, I mean this one. You see this one? This is just a basic multimeter, which is very cheap. You can buy it anywhere. On shops which are specializing in electronic tools. You buy a multimeter, you buy a water station, some tweezers, some flags. Yeah, you start to do the things. What they are doing when a customer bring in the phone for repair, what I found, you take out the battery. You see this? I've seen so many technicians doing this. I don't know the meaning of this. Huh? They are testing. They will be testing the battery voltage. Why can't you just buy a multimeter and do the proper thing? Huh? So technicians, they are testing cell phone batteries with a tongue. Huh? I don't even understand what the problem with people. They can't even buy a multimeter, which is very cheap, just to do the proper thing. So let's see. Let's see other comments. Maybe we can. Okay. Where do I get that BIOS file? People, they are always asking about the bin file, but I explained these things so many times. So please, I need help with the motherboard. The CPU did not come on. The CPU MOSFETs. What? You know the thing with the power supply, especially on the vehicle power supply. You know the thing with the vehicle power supply. Maybe I can draw some things. Here we have the charging port here. That's the charging port. We have a MOSFET. That's the MOSFET, 4 pins together, 3 pins together, and the gate. This is a drain, source, and gate. We have another MOSFET here, 3 pins together, the gate, and 4 pins together, which is the drain, and these are source. These gates, they are going to the BQ chip. I explained this. The gates of the MOSFET, they are going there. And after that, we have the current resistor. And from there, the 19 volts power line is going everywhere. And one of the power supplies, we have the vehicle power supply for the processor. Here, we have some ceramic capacitors connected to ground. Can be 2, can be 3. That's less important. After that, what do we have here? This capacitor, one side is connected to ground and the other side is connected to 19 volts. That's how these capacitors, they are working. And here we have 4 MOSFETs. We have 4 MOSFETs on the vehicle. Those 4 MOSFETs, they are switches. Just take these MOSFETs as switches. They are switching devices. The other MOSFET is connected on the 19 volts power line. The other ones are connected on the ground. And here we have coil. Here we have coil, like 2 coils. And we have some output capacitors, electrolyte one. This is an electrolyte capacitor, and here we have the CPU, and all these MOSFETs, they are being managed by the driver here. We might have an intercell chip that the CPU driver, and here is going straight to this driver, and the gates of this MOSFET are also going to this driver. And here we have the feedback pin. So this CPU is working with 1 volt, but here the laptop charger is inputting 19 volts. So all these power supplies, what they are doing, they are stepping down the 19 volts to depending with what that voltage is being used for. This is for the processor, is being stepped down to 1 volts, and here we have other power supplies like 1.5 volts for the RAM. We have like 5 volts for the USBs. You have so many voltages. We have the GPU voltage, we have the PCH voltage 3.3, and we have the 3.3 which is always on even if your laptop is off. So we have to understand that if these MOSFETs, let's go back to the comment. Let's go back to this comment. Please say, I need to help with the motherboard. All power rails are present, but the power to the CPU did not come on. The CPU MOSFETs, they have voltage on the source, but none on the gate. The USB controller was heating up. When I checked with the thermal, I had to desolder it, hoping to post without it. When it started, the fan continued spinning non-stop, no posting. On many laptop motherboards, this processor, what you find inside this processor, we find the PCH, we found the GPU inside this, like single chipboards. And if your motherboard is coming on, but it's not posting, we have the GPU power supply, which is almost similar to this one. Can you have 1 coil? Can you have 1 coil, or can you have like 2 coils, 4 MOSFET and the driver? And if he is not posting, check those MOSFETs first. Maybe one of the MOSFET is shorted, and what this 19 volts is doing is going straight to the CPU. And that's why you have a laptop coming on, but it's not posting. You have some more chances of replacing the MOSFET and having picture on the screen, but in most cases the GPU is already dead and you can't do anything. That's what I always say. You can't fix everything in electronics. You can't fix everything, and you have to admit that there are some faults which are not meant to be fixed. Bra, can you help me? Same device, same problem. We have 3.3 and 5 volts on power supply, but coils on top of the chip have no voltage. BIOS and power key is 2.6. except the coil. 2.6 is not enough. If the, you know, the 3.3 and 5 volts regulator, what can I say? Let me see if I can get something here. Let me see if I can get something. Schematics. Let's open these schematics. So here we have an issue. We have an issue. Let's read this comment again. Can you help me? Same device, same problem. We have 3.35 volts on the power supply, but on core on top of the chip, no voltage. BIOS and power key. BIOS chip and power key. On the power key. What do you mean by power key? Power on switch? Yes, 2.6 volts. If we have 2.6 volts on the power key and the last pin of the BIOS chip, probably this 5 volts, this 3.3, which you are saying you have 3.3 volts, maybe it's not the right one. Maybe it's not the 3.3 LDO, or it is maybe the 3.3 for the chipset. Huh? So the thing is like this. Here I just pick a random schematics here. We have TPS 51123, and here the way how this chip is working is similar to all other driver. This is the 3.3 and 5 volts regulator, because if you check here, we have this is 5 volts, that's the output number 1. We have the VREG 3, which is output number 2. We have some coils and some electrolyte capacitors, which are also generating other outputs. Here we have 4 outputs, not 2. And pin number 16 is the V in. You see this? And where's the feedback? We have a VFB and VFB1 and VFB2. You see this pin number 2 and pin number 5. This pin, they are there for the feedback, to see if everything is working fine with the output of the switching power supply. There are some signals which are being sent by those current resistors to this driver. So here, the important thing here, if we have 2.6, check this pin number 8. We have VREG 3. This pin is the 3.3 LDO, and is always on even if your laptop is off. Check here why this pin is outputting 2.6 instead of 3.3. Why here we have, because that 2.6 that you are seeing is being generated from the 3.3 LDO output, which is in this driver is pin number 8, but can be from different pin depending on the type of pin that we have there. So in most cases, if you don't have enough voltage here, just come with 3.3 and see what is getting what. Maybe this driver is okay, but it's trying to put itself on safety mode, because here we have a short. And where this 3.3 is going to the startup chip, because from this pin number 8, our EC chip is getting powered on. Maybe the EC chip is fault, maybe this chip is fault. You have to check some things. But what I can say, based on the comment, 2.6 is not enough. Something's not right there. We must have at least 3 volts and above, not 2.6. It's a bit low. So I think I've answered so many comments. And you know what? Don't hesitate to leave a comment. If you have a comment, just try to leave a comment. I'll answer you in the future. And we are doing this on every Sunday. We are posting electronics oral repairs. We are not fixing, we are just explaining things. We are just revisiting comments and try to attend 1 or 2 comments. Obvious, I might not be in a position to answer all the comments, but I will try. I will try just to pay attention to every comment. So it's now more than 40 minutes explaining things. So what I will say, just have a nice weekend wherever you are. And yeah, fix things. And before you think of fixing things, try to buy basic tools. Like just buy a multimeter, just buy a cheap hot air station, like an all-in-one hot air with hot air and soldering gun. Yeah, you buy soldering wire, some tweezers, some cheap flags, and start to look for boards. You build things in air. That's the only way how you get better in electronics. So like, subscribe, don't forget to turn on the notification bell for future updates. Also share our videos to your beloved friends and relatives across the country, all over the world. And yeah, see you on the next one. Bye.